Babies are not born with food allergies. Food allergies develop after birth, and they're more likely to happen if you delay introducing foods such as dairy, egg and peanut to their diet, especially in babies with moderate to severe eczema. In the past, parents were advised to delay introducing certain foods when their babies started weaning. This advice was based on minimal evidence, but that advice was corrected a decade ago thanks to robust research. You should introduce your baby to all of the most common food allergens as soon as you start weaning. So, which foods do you need to introduce? Start with dairy, like whole cow's milk and natural dairy yogurt, hard-boiled egg, peanut in a smooth butter or finely crushed form. Then introduce in any order fish with all the bones removed, sesame as finely crushed seeds or a paste, and then tree nuts like almond, Brazil, cashew, hazelnut or walnut in a smooth paste or in a fine crushed form. Wheat like wheat cereals, semolina and pasta. How much food should you give the first time? When you introduce dairy, eggs, nut or fish for the first time, start with at least a teaspoon of the food. Slowly aim to give them more each time after that until they eat a normal portion for their age. It is important to avoid the food getting on their skin, especially if they have eczema on their hands or face. Give your baby the food using a spoon, but don't give your baby the spoon or the food to hold themselves. How should you serve the foods? You can give your baby the food on its own, or you can mix the allergen into another food that they've already eaten. Here are some ways to serve the food. For dairy, use whole cow's milk or natural cow's milk yogurt. For egg, a mashed hard-boiled egg. For peanut, a heaped teaspoon of smooth peanut butter or 3 to 4 crushed peanuts. And for other nuts, as a smooth nut spread. For fish, give cooked fish that has no bones. How often should you give these foods? Introduce each new food one at a time. For example, egg. Give egg 3 times in the same week. You can also introduce other allergens in the same week. For example, introduce peanut another day that week. Once the new food has been introduced successfully, continue to include it in their diet regularly. Give them the food at least 3 times a week until well established. This will help their immune system to develop a tolerance. Once the important food allergens are introduced, they can all be given on the one day, even in the same meal. How will you know if your baby has an allergic reaction to the food? Within minutes or up to 2 hours after eating, symptoms include a sudden rash, lip and face swelling, or both of these with vomiting. This could be an immediate food allergy, so you should speak to your GP before giving the food again. 2 to 24 hours after eating, symptoms can include any combination of the following: tummy or abdominal symptoms, vomiting, diarrhea, or blood in your child's poo. This could be a delayed food allergy. It's more common with cow's milk or cow's milk formula. Speak to your GP or public health nurse before changing their formula. A severe allergic reaction that affects your child's breathing and blood circulation, called anaphylaxis, is very rare.